Sir, men, you want to ask sometimes, are they marriage material? Because every man is not marriage material. And what I mean by that, you have to look at their history. Like if a man has been in a long-term relationship that lasted 2 or 3 years, you know that hey, that man was committed to somebody for 3 years or more. Most likely, he is the commitment type person. Also, you have to look at his habits. Men, y'all gonna have to just use this last. I ain't dealing with it anymore. But you also have to look at his habits in his daily life as to figure out whether or not he would be a good committed partner. Does this man get up the same time every day? Consistency. You want to look for consistency. Now, I know my ex-husband, he had been in Jamaican military. So he was very consistent. But what you have to realize is that men are creatures of habits. That's why I say you must look at their habits to see if they are the commitment type. They get up. Has this person been consistent in going to a job? Even if it's at home, has it been consistent? A lot of men are not mature enough to be in a committed relationship. Some men have not found themselves yet. Therefore, they hop from woman to woman to woman because they're trying to feel something within them that they have not found yet. That's a person that's not able or has trouble committing. Guys that come in and out of your life very wishy-washy, very inconsistent. They are not husband types. And I'm not saying that they will not be a husband type much later after they commit. But if they're in and out of your life, they might, one, be playing a game with you. Two, just want some. Three, it's missing something in their lives where as they have to keep going out being with different females, that person has not found themselves. They're not mentally mature enough to be in a marriage, or he's most likely going to do the same thing once he get married. Now, the marrying types that I know, like my father and mother been married 56 years. They're very consistent people, even in their habits. Their jobs, consistent. Every day for 30, 40 years. Man of habit. My dad goes to Walmart every single Saturday. That's just a thing that he does because, like I said, men are creatures of habit. You watch what they do and make sure they're committed to good things that aren't harmful. That's another way you can know if a person can commit to something. Watch out to see if they keep their word. Men that cannot seem to keep their word, not even for a date, not if they say I'm coming over and something happens, always happening that they can't come to you when they say that they're coming to you, they're most likely they are not the husband type, not the committing type. But if you want somebody just to play with, it really does not matter whether they come or not. But if every time a person comes and they got a different story as to why they didn't make or keep their word, that's not husband material at all. Now, I've had some very consistent men in the past, and I've also had some very wishy-washy people that it seems like they're just lying all the time. They'll tell great stories but never carry anything out. That's a person who's non-committal, or either committed to family, or their family is very controlling. They got other things going on. But then you have those who are very consistent. They will tell you that, okay, I'm going to pick you up at this time, and they're actually there on time. Or they will plan with you, say, well, we can do this, and they actually show up. This is consistency. Those are the husband types. Those are the ones that do not have a fear of commitment. And men have to watch women too. Are they the commitment type? Because you don't want some desperate woman who just want to get married just for the sake of getting married. You want a person who's going to come in and you guys are going to form a team that you can sit down, discuss things without screaming and yelling and choking each other out all the time. You have to learn to communicate, not with your hands, but with your mouth. It doesn't mean you're not the commitment type. They do have counseling for that, premarital counseling. But watch a woman's habits. Is she the kind that stays home? Because you have docile women and you have very assertive type women. It's according to who you get along with. But if they're consistent in something, if they tell you they're going to meet you somewhere and they meet you somewhere, if they are on a project and you watch them and they actually complete it, that's another side that a person is able to commit. Also look at their history. What type of relationships have they had in the past? Have they had a long-term relationship? Now, some women may have been in a position whereas their fathers were extremely strict. Like my father was very strict. So I sporadically had to go on like dates or something like that. My brother had to go with me most of the time. But does that person stick with one person? Has she stuck with one person for a long period of time? Even if she has not been in that type of relationship, look at other parts of her life for consistency. Is she consistent with you? Does she show up when she says she's going to show up? Yes, men have to look for those things to see if a woman is commitment material, you know. And but back to men. Yes, some may have commitment issues, and you don't want to just be strung along with a man who is not ready to commit. And you have to listen to what a man says to you and then watch his actions. That it can tell you a lot about whether a man is the commitment type. Now, I know there was one particular man that I have dated in the past. He was very consistent, always on time. If he told me he was going to do something, he got it done. He was very consistent on his job. He was very consistent in making plans for us. And, well, a couple of them were like that. Those are commitment type people. If they feel like you're the commitment type and y'all are on the same frequency or whatever, most likely it will lead there to a marriage. But yes, you have to watch certain things because not everybody is husband material. And you have to watch. You can't let yourself string on for years and years. My grandma always told me, if a man has not even talked about marriage or plans of the future within 8 months that you've been together, honey, he might be stringing you along. He may not even be thinking, and most likely he's still leaving his options open. And you also notice that he's coming in and out of your life, disappearing. I'm not saying that some of these men aren't working or something or got some issues going on, but if they come in and out of your life and they don't explain to you what's going on, most likely he's not the commitment type because he does not understand what it takes to be in a commitment. It takes communication. You can't disappear for a day or two and not call, because if you really care for somebody, honey, you can't hardly let a day go by from the men I've seen and from my ex-husband. It was not a day that he would go by unless he was just working all day, and he was never even tired enough not to call me. And even if he was tired, sometimes he would still come by to check on me, to see me, make sure that everything okay, because at times we were both working long hours. But a man will take time for the woman that he wants to be with, but not a man that's gonna be wishy-washy. You know what I say? That's the selfish type of person. Because when a man wants a woman and loves a woman, it's a back and forth, it's a sharing thing. And you don't have people waiting for you, wondering where you are or wondering where you stand. If you don't been with a person for a year and you still don't know where you stand, most likely you've run into a person who's non-committal. But those are just some of the things. If you're looking for commitment, or if you're in a relationship and some things are happening, and what you should look for. Like I said, not every man is husband material. And there are certain types of men that are husband material. And you have to know what to look for. And men, they go say, well, man, not everyone. You're right. Not every woman is commitment material. There's certain things that men look for, but I'm not a man. So I'm going to talk about me looking at a male. But thank you for stopping by at Colored Roses and Thorns. I'll talk to you guys later.